What's going on, champions? Chris here from Boxing Brothers Online Coaching, and today I'm going to teach you how to start your skipping journey. So I've got a very basic PVC rope here. These are my favorite ropes. Yes, you do chew through them a lot quicker than you do the wire ropes, but the way they travel and the way they feel in your hand is the best. They're very affordable, they're very cheap. You can usually get them for $3 or $4, so even if you do go through them, it's no big deal. The surface that you're skipping on will determine how quickly you go through the ropes as well. You don't want to be skipping on bitumen or any kind of rough, staggered surfaces. You want to have a nice, smooth, flat surface like a padded floor or even floorboards like we do here, have here at the gym. So what you want to do first is determine the length of the rope. Determine the length of the rope. When you fold that rope in half, you want to put it under your armpit and it should just be tipping the ground. This is a very approximate measure. Some people like the rope a little bit longer, some people like the rope a little bit shorter. As you become more experienced with your skipping, you'll be able to determine how you like your length of rope. But the general rule of thumb is to fold it in half, chuck it underneath your armpit, and make sure it's just tipping the ground. It's really important that you're using a skipping rope that suits your height. Okay, so to begin, we're actually going to get rid of the rope. It's the best way to start, and we're going to determine the jumping rhythm and height that you need to start your skipping. So it's really important that when you're doing your skipping, you're only skipping and jumping high enough to clear the thickness of the rope. So your heels don't touch the ground when you do your jump. You want to be on the balls of your feet, and you're going to start off jumping with both feet at the same time, with the feet just leaving the ground. I'm suspending my knees, nice soft landing, and I'm using the momentum of my jump down to spring myself up. I don't want to be doing a squat and going too low and settling my heels, and I don't want to be springing too high that I'm getting a massive amount of air time. I want to be leaving the floor just for a moment. So to begin with, you want to visualize the rope in your hand, and you want to be jumping, keeping your heels off the ground and trying to get nice and continuous. You should feel the burn in your calves, and then naturally you should feel your hands bouncing. And this is the timing sequence that you're going to use when you incorporate the rope. Heels off the ground and jumping just high enough to clear the thickness of the rope. Okay, once we've established the jump, we're now going to incorporate the rope. You're going to get your rope, you're going to start with a rope behind you, nice and straight. Okay, from here what we're going to do is swing that rope in front, and that's when you're going to be jumping. The first swing is going to involve a big movement with your arms. It's not going to imitate the rhythm that you'll use with your hands for the rest of your skip. So it's a big movement, and you're going to get over that first rope, and then you're off. You're using that same jumping sequence that you did when you didn't have the rope. Now in this case, you can see I'm letting the momentum and the weight of the rope do a lot of the work. And a lot of the movement is at my elbows and my wrist, and a little bit of rotation in the shoulder. But I'm not swinging the rope using big movements because it's going to affect the distance and the range of the rope to my feet. So again, if you find it hard, you can start again with just the jump, establish that rhythm, and then incorporate the rope. Rope behind you, and then jumping. Get that rhythm on. Make sure that you're exerting equal efforts through left and right. You don't want to have your right arm doing all the work and your left hand limp, or your left hand doing all the work and your right hand limp. A good way to determine this is to use a mirror and be very conscious as to the fact of using both hands equally. There's a lot of boxers out there that are very advanced boxers, and you see them on the rope and they'll be smashing one of their biased hands and the other hand's almost doing nothing. So make sure the hands are doing the same amount of output. This takes practice, guys. Don't think that you're going to get it straight away, and it's okay if you don't get it straight away. Spend time on that rope, keep the jumps nice and short, and let those wrists rotate as you're going through that skip on both feet. Okay, so once you've established your basic skipping style with both feet, and you can do so for a prolonged period of time comfortably with good coordination, you want to start alternating your feet and transferring your weight from left to right. You could probably feel that when you're doing your skipping, the calves start burning very easy, and you're limited as to how fast you can skip that rope. The best way to increase speed and relieve that calf tension is to run the rope. Run the rope. So you want to be alternating left and right. There's a couple of ways to do this. So the rhythm that we established on both feet, is the same rhythm that we're going to utilize when we run the rope. The hand speed does not change. That's one of the most important things you want to remember. The hand speed does not change. You can hear from the sound of the rope, tuck, 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 tuck. It does not change whether I'm running or I'm hopping. So from your hop, you want to start going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. If you struggle transitioning from the hop to the run, you can start with a run. Starting with a run is as simple as this. You swing that rope around from your starting point and you just run into that rope. Try not to overthink it, just feel it. You can also get rid of the rope and just practice it on the spot. Practice it on the spot, get that timing, practice it without that rope so you can establish that timing of the run. Again, all on the balls of your feet without letting your heels touch the ground. Your two options, just to reiterate, are start with your hop, you got your rhythm, you got your timing, and you transition to a run. Transition to a run. Or, if you're finding that difficult, another way to adopt the skill is to start with the rope behind you and then run into the rope. If you're struggling with that, you put the rope down and you practice without the rope. I hope this was helpful. Keep practicing your skipping, don't stop. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time.